What's up, everyone? My name is Travis Bean, aka not Chris Lambert. Once again, I am here. Chris isn't. He's having computer troubles, and you know what I say to him? Tough luck, son, because you shouldn't have computer troubles if you want to run this fantastic Watching the Throne YouTube channel account. Obviously, I don't do this a lot. Chris is mostly the one doing this. I just like to give him a nudge whenever I can, especially if he's not here to defend himself. My name is Travis Bean. I am the other half of Watching the Throne, which is a podcast. Again, I don't know how many of you know that. Shame on you if you don't, because we are over here dissecting the ever-living hell out of Kanye's work, line by line, note by note. Not really note by note, because we don't know a lot about music, but line by line, we know a lot about words, because we are both writers. Chris is like a novelist, and I'm more of a journalist. But we've written a few words in our time. We've been around the literary block, as you could say. We wrote the Yeezus book, which is the number one resource on Yeezus, as far as I know. I do believe that Kanye said that himself. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure he said that. Welcome to our YouTube channel, which I guess is the Watching the Throne YouTube channel. We are here to talk about day 3 of the best Kanye West Song Tournament Deathmatch Extreme 2020. I don't know why I said Kanye weird. Giving you daily updates on what's going on. Today we're going to be covering what happened in round 3, how the prediction brackets are going so far, because it was like the NCAA tournament. People can actually go in and vote on how they think the matchups will go, and whoever wins that will win a $50 prize. And then we'll preview today's matches. There's some pretty juicy ones coming up. I promise you'll want to wait until the end because you won't believe the kind of matchups we have today. The Na 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 remix, it's already getting probably annihilated today, but it's already in the tournament. Things are getting exciting. Let's settle in. We're going to look at the day 3 matchups here. And they were interesting. There were actually a few surprises on there. And I would like to think that I know Kanye fans better than anybody in the world, even better than Chris. I know that's hard to believe, but so I filled out my prediction bracket and how I think the voting would go. For people who don't know, this is the 4th iteration we've done of the tournament, and the first 3 years we eliminated. Each time there's a winner, a song wins, which in the first year was Runaway, second year was Blood on the Leaves, third year was Devil in a New Dress. Those songs are then taken out of the tournament, so other songs have a chance to win, which I love. I love that little feature, even though it seems to piss people off. One guy really went to town on us on Twitter and was really pissed at me. He's like, "You should call it Best Runner-Up Kanye West Song Tournament." Dude, settle down. People don't care that much. Everybody knows Runaway is Kanye's most beloved song. I am excited someday that we're going to do a Hall of Champions, because that's what it's called when you win the tournament. We're going to have a Hall of Champions showdown. And so someday, when we get like 8 songs together, we're going to do like a bigger bracket. And then, then it'll blow up the 16 songs and 32 songs and 64 songs. I guess at that point, you're not really the best Kanye West song after 64 iterations of the tournament. But we're still going to do it. So we're going to be looking at the predictions, and then we're going to preview today's matchups, which is day 4. But yesterday was the first round. So the first 2 days of the tournament were the preliminary round, where all of the songs that got the lowest votes from last year kind of just got the shaft. They're like, well, you're in the qualifying round. You have to make your way into the tournament. And a lot of great songs were knocked out there. A lot of really good songs just had tough matchups, and we saw some unfortunate ones go, like I Feel Like That, which was a bummer to see. But we are officially in the bracket now, the big bracket. There's 128 songs left. And you know what? Let's settle in and let's see what's going on. So yesterday, let's start here. Everything I Am beat. Can I zoom in here? Why is it not zooming in? Oh, I have to click. Hey-yo. Everything I Am beat Say You Will, which I gotta say, that was the one that really did surprise me. Because I love both of those songs. I personally would pick Say You Will over Everything I Am, even though I think Everything I Am is great. I always thought Say You Will was like a Kanye fan favorite. I always see people talking about it, but maybe it's more of a vocal minority as opposed to a lot of people who love it. And I kind of get why a lot of people wouldn't, because it is the last 3 minutes of the song are just drums meant to sound like a heartbeat and like a low murmuring choir. So I guess some people don't like that. I love it to death, but Say Will's out. Maybe it'll win in the 64th iteration of the tournament. Fade beat Highlights. That's not surprising to me. It was surprising to me that it was so close, though, because Fade was a single. You get the Tiana Taylor video. And Highlights always seems to me to be the song on The Life of Pablo that people seem to hate on the most. Or not hate on, but it's just always the one people seem to deem like the least good. I don't know. But I was surprised it was this close, but Fade ultimately did win. Otis beat Wolves. That's not that surprising. It's kind of sad to see that. I honestly don't know which one I would pick because one's like a banger, like a radio song. You got Jay and Kanye trading lines. Like, that's amazing. But Wolves is, it's the crux of The Life of Pablo. It's Kanye finally like becoming a family man and moving past so many things. I don't know. But Otis won. I can't say that's that surprising. Ultralight Beam obliterated So Appalled. Also not surprising, although you hate to see any song from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy go. Bound 2 versus Lift Yourself. Now, correction department, yesterday in the video I did say that we were going to have a three-way matchup here because in this tournament, you have to win a certain amount of the votes. So if you win 50.4% of the vote, you don't actually move on, and then we go to a sort of Georgia runoff situation where three people will face off in the next round. Three people. I like to think of these songs as people personally, but not to confuse you, three songs would move on. But Chris informed me that the rule is actually if you get at least 50.5% of the vote, we round up to 51, and that means you got enough. So Lift Yourself did get at least 50.5% of the vote, so it did move on, only to be completely eviscerated by Bound 2. That is quite the gap right there. 88.8% versus 10.5%. You could see that 0.7% of the people couldn't make up their minds on that one. Seems kind of crazy to me that you can't decide between those two songs, but yeah, I agree there. I love Lift Yourself, but Bound 2 is the winner. This one surprised me. I know people love Family Business. I do too. It's a great moment on the College Dropout. It's just crazy to me that I thought Onsite was gaining a lot of steam lately, especially because Yeezus has seemed every year. It seems like Yeezus gains in like importance. Like more and more people are like, oh man, like Kanye was way ahead of the times there. And like, what song is more ahead of the times than the opening one that launches you into that Yeezus soundscape? I thought people were really getting on board for Onsite. Not enough to top Family Business though. And that's an interesting insight into Kanye fandom that people are really still holding on to old Kanye, and Family Business, is kind of like the epitome of old Kanye. So you really did. That's kind of what that matchup was, actually. Like the height of new Kanye and the height of old Kanye going up one-on-one. That's pretty cool. But as you can see, Family Business won pretty handily. This was a close one. Crack Music versus Use the Gospel. I'm actually pleased to see the way this one went. I think Use This Gospel is awesome. It is awesome because it's a gospel song. I was going to make a terrible joke, but I'm going to move on from that. Crack Music is like an old Kanye hit, and it's like another one of those songs of late registration. I think that Addiction and maybe like Gone, where you can see like future Kanye like really getting inventive with his production. In particular, Crack Music reminds me a lot of Yeezus. I just don't know how much people like know the song and love the song, but it's cool to see that it beat out a new Kanye song. I think anytime there's a new Kanye song on these polls, it's at a bit of an advantage because more people have heard it for a younger audience, and you're just now getting into Kanye. Like, you probably love Use This Gospel. So that was cool to see. A lot of votes in that one. I love that too. I love that we're getting so many votes in these. This time last year, I think maybe these polls were getting like less than 2,000 votes. So this is good. And finally, we had the big tragic matchup of the day. It's sad to put two Yeezus songs against each other in the first round, especially these two, Black Skinhead versus New Slaves. But as you can see, New Slaves won pretty handily. I think it's a better song as well. You just hate to see it, And now we're going to move on to the predictions here. So let's see who's in the lead. And if you are one of these people, hit us up in the YouTube comment section so we can target you and find out who you are and hunt you down. So who do we got here? We have a three-way tie for first. The first poll, the first prediction, best believe I thought about killing you for some of these matchups. I understand. I hate it too. Then we got in second, give me a T-Lop. First of all, the first person, their final four is going to be Can't Tell Me Nothing, St. Pablo, Stronger, and All of the Lights. That's a pretty convincing matchup. I personally think St. Pablo's going to win the whole thing. Then we got the Give Me a T-Lop, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy vinyl. We will do that if you win. And they have Jesus Walks Through the Wire, Ultralight Being and Famous in the final four. A different final four. And then we have Lucky Guesses. Let's hope they're really lucky, because then you're going to win one of those vinyls. They picked Ghost Town, Monster. That would be crazy if Monster made it that far. Ultralight Beam and Through the Wire. I am somewhere on this list. Let's see if we can find me. I am, I think I called it Travie. Travie, baby. I'm pretty far down, actually. Not doing so well so far. But that's the great thing about me. Like, I like to be the underdog. I like people to count me out and down and out. And all of a sudden I make my comeback and you don't see me coming and boom, I'm there. I'm the one winning the vinyl. I'm the one that's going to get the $50. No, if I win, I will not be keeping the $50. I will be giving it to not the second place person, but just whoever I like the most and whoever's nicest to me. And then we got the day 4 matchups, which is day 2 of round 2. Round 1. Oh God, here we go. First up, we got Na Na Remix. Na Na Remix versus Violent Crimes. I can only imagine how that one's going to go. Na 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 is new, but it seems to be a song a lot of Kanye fans don't like. I think it's great, but I don't think it's better than Violent Crimes, and I would expect Violent Crimes to win that pretty handily. If you want to vote in these, by the way, go to our Twitter account, @Kanye Podcast. I probably should have said it at the top, shouldn't I? Anyway, then we have Drunken Hot Girls versus Made in America. This one will probably break my heart. I personally love Drunken Hot Girls, and I have seen it gain some steam in the last few years. I think it's such a beautiful moment on graduation when you see Kanye kind of dipping into the ugliness of celebrity. And I think it's an ironic song and like ultimately a song that punishes Kanye for being, the asshole he's being to women and whatever he's doing in that song and in that part of the album. But I can't imagine it's going to beat Made in America. Made in America is a great song though, so I can't complain. Then we have Facts, the Charlie Heat version, versus RoboCop. That's a tough one. I say that one's like a toss-up right now. I don't know what I would pick on that. If you put me on the spot and put a gun to my head, which I hope you're not going to do, but if you did, I'd probably pick Facts. I don't know if RoboCop has enough of a following, even though I love it. I wish it did. Bring Me Down versus Wash Us in the Blood. Ooh, that's an interesting one. An old school Kanye song. An underrated song. I would say one of the most underrated Kanye songs. Versus Wash Us in the Blood. I'd probably give it to Wash Us in the Blood, personally. But I think that's also a toss-up. If the gun's to my head, I would probably say Wash Us in the Blood. It's going to win. But if you disagree and don't want it to win, head to Twitter right now. Then we got 30 Hours versus Close on Sunday. That's interesting. I think 30 Hours is going to win. I kind of have a hard time believing like any Jesus is King song makes it out of the first round. Maybe Follow God would. But I don't know. I kind of can't see it. So that would be my guess. Hell of a Life versus No More Parties in LA. I would guess No More Parties would win. Hell of a Life is always kind of like hated on. It's like the song that, like the one song on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy that people seem to not like, even though it's incredible. So if you don't like it, you're wrong. Next up, we got Everything We Need versus Father Stretch My Hands Part. If you hover over it, a lot of people ask about this. If you hover over it, like you see I'm doing right here, it'll pop up. This is Father Stretch My Hands Part 2, which I don't think is as good as Part 1. I kind of consider them, both those songs, to be one song, kind of. But if I had to pick, Part 2 is not as good, but I do think it's better than Everything We Need. So hope that one moves on, and I expect it will. And then finally, Ham versus St. Pablo. I think St. Pablo's going to win the whole tournament, personally. People love that song. And Ham is probably not, it's one of the bonus songs on the Watch the Throne, and it's probably not a song a lot of Kanye fans have heard. So I would think St. Pablo wins that pretty handily. And that does it for day 3. And that's it. That's all I have for today. I can't believe I talk as long as I do. I'm so sorry about that. Just want to plug our Patreon account really quick. If you go to patreon.com/Kanye podcast, we have all of almost all of the song analyses we've ever done. We've actually covered every song, every Kanye song on his solo albums and Kitsy Ghost in the past. We removed a lot of those songs from our Patreon because we want to redo them, and we're in the process of redoing them. So if you want our entire catalog, at least the ones we're putting out there because we're not embarrassed by them, those are over on Patreon. We're going to be releasing a lot of episodes in quick succession soon. We're going to be dropping a bunch of late registration episodes in the next couple weeks, and then we're going to get to work on graduation, 808s. So we're going to just be releasing them as we go. And if you want to hear all those, it's $5 a month on Patreon. And then the podcast, of course, you can check us. We have a public feed where we're releasing old episodes that we've recorded in the past right now. Well, we're releasing our college dropout episodes, which again, you can hear all of those on Patreon if you just want to hear them now. $5 a month on Patreon. But we're releasing those slowly on the public feed. And the last thing is we're doing a bit of a charity giveaway this year. And we had 8 guests pick 5 songs each. And if any of those songs win the tournament, thank you, that person's song will get to pick a charity and we'll get $500 to that charity. Which, if I'm being candid, that is a very nice thing of us to do. We are good people. So that's it. That's all for today. I wonder how many people right now are just like, man, when is Chris coming back? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I mean, you could just be listening. Maybe you're not looking at the screen. Maybe you don't like my face and you just drifted across the room, but you still want to hear what's happening in the tournament. Thanks for watching as well. That's all I've got for today. Stay wavy, stay loopy, and most of all, stay Kanye, I guess. That's the best thing you could probably do.